to my new YouTube channel. I'm Tony Angelo. We're calling the channel Stay Tuned, and this is the first episode ever. We're going to work on my buddy Pat's 68 Dodge Dart that he's building up as like a street machine. He bought this thing 11 years ago. It was a red, rusty 6-cylinder car. He wanted to make it into this nasty, hot street car. 11 years ago, that was like trend-setting, incredible. Right now, it's still very cool, but sort of on trend. And we're going to get this thing fired up. We're going to build a complete exhaust for it, get the steering shaft working, and it's already purple. It looks sick. One cool note, it was actually painted in my shop. It was the last car painted here when it used to be a paint shop. One thing I really like to do when it's time to get a car fired up, fire it up, hear it, let it roar, get motivated, and then get to work. That's what we're going to do. All right, so we have the coolest project ever here. This is a 68 Dodge Dart. It's my buddy Pat from engineering school. And this thing is like super 70s, street machine vibe. It's got a bunch of modern stuff to go with it though, which is cool. It's like the best of all the worlds. Right? It's got purple flake, crazy paint job, tunnel ram, Hemi 4-speed, all this old school, Dana 60, all this old school stuff, but 4-wheel disc brakes, fully controllable electronic ignition, and it actually is a later 5.9 Magnum motor, which has a bunch of great upgrades on it. This is gonna be weird. I'm excited about it. I'll have to get what they call B-roll.
Like eating pizza?
Yeah, no, B-roll of the car. So like if I'm like, this is Pat's Dart, it's 68 Dart with purple paint, and like it cuts to like purple paint shots. So Pat built this motor 10 years ago?
Yep.
And bought the car 10 years ago, a little more?
Yeah, I did everything 10 years ago and then it just kind of sat.
Basically, I moved back to the area and I was like, hey Pat, how you doing? What's been going on? And he's like, well, I've got this crazy Dart project that's been dormant for a long time. And I was like, let's start working on that thing. And that's what we've been doing on and off between other projects here and there, and it's been pretty cool. The motor wasn't in it. We pulled this motor out of your falling down shed, right?
Yep.
LA Mopar engines are super heavy. It's like 2 Chevy small blocks.
I don't care what people say, it's like 500 pounds.
It's nuts. So we dragged it out of an old falling down shed. This is how long it had been sitting. Cleaned it up, painted it. What did we start, 2 years ago?
Yeah. Yep. Rebuilt the 4-speed transmission in the dead of winter.
That's what he's got going on here. So it's, like I said, it looks super old. There's actually some modern tech in here. Pat slathered some kind of like industrial grease everywhere inside the motor. Right? What is it?
It's some kind of like waxy stuff they make for putting away farm equipment.
For putting away farm equipment. So he stuck that everywhere, and hopefully it comes off. We're gonna try to fire this thing up because it sounds awesome. And anytime you have been,
I'd like to get
putting a project together for like a whole decade and you get it running, it's nice. It's a little kick in the pants when we first get to the shop today. Let's hear it. Tunnel ram, 5.9.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's just full of pep.
I heard something.
Yeah.
I heard something next door.
Yeah.
It's loud.
I swear it didn't
Pretty
seem
sweet.
that loud the other night, did it?
When you revved it up the first time we got it fired up, yeah, it scared me in my chest. I was like, ugh. But yeah, it's not bad at idle, and then you rip it up and it gets serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so Pat's got a Flaming River conversion shaft to go to his manual steering box, and basically we need to lose about 3 inches off the overall length, because if you see where this coupler is, how giant it is up here, It's still totally in the way of the headers. It's better than the stock giant awful square piece that couples the two things together, but it's still way too big and it's got to move up. So we'll figure something out. May just wind up sectioning this thing and moving it up all the way up the shaft. I think that's very doable, and then do a quick weld on it. So we already installed this thing once, and then we read the directions afterwards, which is the way you want to do it. We should cut the shaft so this thing fits all the way down to this collar, but even that's not going to get us what we need. So we're going to wind up cutting and sectioning this and shortening it and then moving it all up. But we also cut like 6 inches off of here, so let's make sure we don't go too short with it. Sweet. All right. Now we're gonna just match those two up. Give them a zap. Perfect. All right. Anytime you shorten or lengthen or make a steering shaft, obviously you gotta make sure it's perfectly straight. So what we'll do is I'm just gonna tack weld this thing together with my trusty Miller synchro wave, and then we're gonna rotate it to make sure it's perfect. If not, we'll wind up breaking those tacks apart and getting it just right. Because you don't want to add a round steering shaft.
The D shaft is like 90 degrees to this hole,
Okay.
so it's about like that. Pretty good.
Alright, we're gonna need some ground on there. Which you should be able to get right through like the steering. I mean,
There's the steering bolt at the other end.
hold on. Let's see if I can just grab like everything in this thing. I might be able to kind of square it up.
Yeah, you might be able to just tack it that way, and then
Here. All right, spin it, Pat. So I got this thing tacked up solid, but she's dancing all over the place. So we're gonna knock it off again. Put that end in the vise. Excuse me. We're gonna put that end in a lathe, and then make sure it's nice and square so we can weld it up good. Cool. I feel like I'm on the other side of this thing. All right.
All right,
Colin's here.
and I wasn't kidding about my hat.
Beautiful hat. They don't know what you mean, but we're gonna straighten this bad boy out. Yeah, Pat couldn't stop eating pizza while he cut that thing. He screwed it all up. You know what I mean?
Pizza will do that.
All that good PA pizza.
Do you want this a chamfer put in it too?
Yeah. TLZ.
And then how much? Just enough to be flat?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're already dancing around, making it too short, I'm sure.
Okay.
So we've got this shortened steering shaft now. Will allow us to run these headers properly. We're ready to rock. Give it a spin, Pat. Yeah, disregard those welds, y'all. All right, as you can see, our shortened column looks pretty sweet in Pat's Dart. He's got a set of stall headers where one of the runners runs through the fender well, through a hole you have to drill and knock out. So it's a pretty wild set. So they're going everywhere, and this is the only way we could manage to fit everything in place and still steer the car, but it turned out pretty good. All right. Get the headers chopped back, because we basically got to U them in and out. It's gonna be a simple little dump, but we do want to put some mufflers on it because this is gonna be a street car. So we got some bends. These are 3-inch, so it's nice and easy to work with. They'll go right into 3-inch mufflers, and then this one will be slightly less loud, slightly more streetable. Get that too? So after making a million exhausts, all I ever do, number one, you take a U-bend. You want to cut on the radius. That means you keep the diameter intact. You're not cutting some goofball line across it. You want to cut here, you want to cut here, here. Use the full bend. And I just eyeball it I lay one pipe across the other one. Anyway, this is gonna get me there. And then mark it for the cut. I need a lot of exhaust. This is about the best way to do it.
Oh my God, that was loud.
All right, we're ready to rock here. We've got our first cut. Looks real solid. And number 2. Boom.
Crushed it.
Test fit this pipe on there and see what you do. Perfect. Is it flat? No, just flat, exactly. That's perfect, dude.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Sweet. Alright, knock it off. I'll weld it up. Alright, so I'm gonna weld this thing up. This is modern stainless and vintage mild steel. I'm gonna use some 312 rod and my Miller single wave, and we're gonna hopefully stick it all together. For it to be comfortable. Be comfortable. There we go. Boom. These bad boys. These are the mufflers we're going to use. These are some flow matches I had laying around. We had talked about putting on this Impala, but never happened. These are 016 101 3-inch little turn down straight through mufflers. It's going to be sweet. Around there, and then we might be pretty close to length already.
Yep, that's it there.
You got it?
Yep.
So this could work, but I'd probably cut off.
Yeah.
Well, not much. Maybe a couple inches. All right, pretty damn close.
Yep.
Sweet.
We added V-band clamps to the collectors and to the other pipes in the system to make it easily removable.
Because these fit kind of loose, you want to make sure you get them on pretty straight. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And take it out. Line off this a little bit.
I'll go beyond that.
Got it?
Yep.
All right, cool. And then same thing on the straights here. Up there.
That's that.
This pipe is done. Pipe is all tacked up. And we'll keep on rocking next time we get in the garage tomorrow. It's going home time. Shut her down. All right, we are back in action. Driver's side exhaust is basically done. You can see that dude right there, looking sweet. And we're gonna attack passenger side. It's nice, we're keeping this really simple. It's just a couple of bends, straight pipe to a muffler that's gonna hang in front of the rear axle, so easy peasy. And we got there, we're all dialed in. So we're just gonna mark this side and I'll weld it all on the bench. We are we're getting a little bit more confident in our abilities. Can you give me down on this one and then up on that one? Yeah. There you go. You good? Sweet. I marked the one pipe 2 times and the other one 3 times so we know which joint is which. Time to weld. Zip, zip, zip. Zippy, zip, zip, zip. These old stall headers are mild steel, welding it to modern 304 stainless. I'm going to use 312 filler rod because it can stick anything to anything. You could weld, you know, asphalt to wood with this bad boy, and it would work. Ready?
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird. So like in my home shop where we are, obviously, outside of Philadelphia, we keep music blasting all the time. And now it's weird to turn it off to make video. So if like ZZ Top or early Metallica wants to give us the rights to your songs. Anybody else?
Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy we would take. The surviving members of Jethro Tull, anybody? Let us know.
Get started.
I finished welding up these little head pipes. These are going to be our mid pipes. This is a straight section of 4-foot stainless with a V-bend on it. And actually try to eyeball them up for their muffler placement. Yeah.
These flanders are not exactly
In line.
right now.
You see?
There you go. Now they are. A little tight.
We just need to hold this up, but they look pretty great. Not bad. Not our first time.
Check out this top post. Let's see where this is gonna fit.
You want to grab a strap or something, ratchet strap?
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. These are 3-inch Flowmaster mild steel straight through mufflers that actually have a turn down already on them, so they're perfect for this. We need to just cut these, they're a couple inches too long. Usually I want it to come out like 2 or 3 inches in front of the axle tube. Just in case it gets super hot, it's not going to melt the paint on the tube or anything. from the cross member. It's like about 50 and a half.
There we go. All right. That sits really nice. Yeah. Perfect.
Sweet. All right, that's one. Then we'll just do down the road. We can do an H pipe here. If you want to mellow the sound out. If not, just let it rock.
I'm probably gonna let it rock.
Yeah, I know you are. That's fine. It's his choice. Yeah. Cool. We're gonna just throw a strap under him for now. We'll eventually, in a minute, make some hangers to hold this thing up. Probably put a hanger over here, one on the end, to make sure everything stays in place. When you're running a round muffler, it can be kind of a pain in the butt because stuff will want to rotate. But it's not too bad. So they can come off of here, usually. Sweet. Got it?
Yep.
A little more right there. Yeah, perfect.
All right, now Tony, put these brackets on.
Yeah.
It's gonna mount to the seat belt bolt.
Yeah, we're gonna call that good enough. Which is, I think, should be the name of this dart. Right. Let's see if we can see that guy. Nice and simple. Boom, boom, boom. We just finished up Pat's complete exhaust, starting at those stall headers, then TIG welded on some V-bands at the collector, straight through to those Flowmaster mufflers. And this is the best part about finishing up any exhaust, firing up the car and seeing how it sounds. So let's go. Turned out awesome. It's loud, but it's not too crazy for a street car. It's perfect. Okay, so that wraps up our very first episode on the new YouTube channel. Hopefully you like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got Pat's Dart that much closer to being on the road.
It's awesome. Sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome. We've got a ton of great projects coming up, so stay tuned. Boom.